writing and then our story. For every time we make a mistake and decide to try again, we light this chalice. For every time we are lonely and we let someone be our friend, we light this chalice. For every time we are disappointed and we choose hope, we light this chalice. Maureen Killoran. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. Today I'm going to share a story with you about forgiveness. This story is called Mussa and Nagib. Once, two friends named Mussa and Nagib made a journey through the mountains of Persia on camelback. They came after a time to a place where a stream flowed by a sandy bank and the trees gave them shade. There, they had a discussion, which turned into an ugly argument. Nagib grew angry, and for the first time ever, he slapped Mussa across the face. Mussa was stunned. He felt angry. He wanted to slap his friend Nagib back. But then he thought, I cannot be too mad at my friend because I could have done the same thing to him. We are alike and I care about him and I don't want to fight with him anymore. So he walked over to the trees and instead picked up a stick. With the stick, he wrote in the sand, "Today, my best friend slapped me." Then he and his friend stood in silence and watched as the desert and the wind blew the sand away. By the time the writing had disappeared, Nagib had said that he was sorry. The friends got back on their camels and rode to their destination in a very distant city. On their trip back through the mountains, they passed the same river. This time, the two friends decided to take a swim. Since their first visit, the rains had made the current stronger and the river was much deeper. Mussa, the friend who had been slapped, stepped into the water first. Right away, he slipped on a rock, was dragged under the current by the river, and began to drown. Nagib jumped in and without a second thought had pulled his friend to safety. The two friends sat again in silence for some time, until Mussa had regained his breath from the incident. Then he rose and he went to his saddlebag on the camel. There he found a carving knife. This time he went to a rock near the river. Into the rock he carved these words, "Today my best friend saved me." Again the two friends sat in silence. Finally, Nagib spoke. "My friend, after I hurt you, you wrote the words in sand. Now, after I saved you, you wrote the words in stone. Why?" Mussa replied, "When someone hurts us, we should write it down in sand, where the winds of forgiveness can erase it away. This way, our hearts are free from bitterness and we can renew our friendships. But when someone does something kind for us, we must engrave it in stone so that our hearts will never forget." The two friends embraced and continued on their journey together in everlasting friendship.